live worldwide. Let's now welcome to the ring our co-main event participants. First, here is Noel, the Dark Horse Mikaelian.
Well, Noel Mikaelian is one of championship-level boxing's true hard luck cases on two different fronts. In 2017 and 2018, Mikaelian and many in the viewing public believed that he deserved defining wins over Krzysztof Wlodarczak and Maris Briedis, but came up short on the scorecards. Then, in 2023, after winning the vacant WBC Cruiserweight title over Junior Makabu, Mikaelian had to down a bitter cocktail mixture of inactivity and postponements, including at least 5 separate postponements of a bout against Ryan Rozicki. Ironically, it was Rozicki's injury that allowed Mikaelian to finally step back in the ring and into this fight, to fight for the title that he won while vacant against the man who holds it once again. Finally, though, Mikaelian will have a chance to take his destiny into his own hands.
Let's go!
And now let's welcome to the ring, Badu Jack, the Ripper.
Well, other than Canelo Alvarez, no one at yesterday's weigh-in received a bigger ovation than this man, Badou Jack, who has been a sterling ambassador for the sport throughout his career, and as one of the most high-profile Muslim fighters in the world, a trailblazer for boxing in the Middle East. But the 41-year-old has had some roadblocks placed on that path due to what he describes as boxing politics, as he hasn't been in the ring since his win over Junior Makabu in 2023. Jack was a world champion and mainstay at 168 and 175 before this cruiserweight run, and insists that even at his advanced age, meticulous dedication and the ability to remain at his natural weight will have him looking as sharp as ever tonight in front of a pro-Jack crowd in Riyadh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the WBC Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, with Frank Warren for Queensberry, Canelo Promotions, Agon Sports and Events, and Sella, in association with 258 and Don King Productions, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, STA, STC, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, and Arena Fitness Innovation. A big thanks to those great sponsors. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Steward in Charge Guy Williamson, along with the World Boxing Council. President Mauricio Suleiman, Supervisor is Michael George. Our 3 judges assigned will be Pablo Gonzalez of Spain, Nobuto Ikehara of Japan, and Jose Mansour of Mexico. Our referee in charge, 3rd man in the ring, will be Hector Afu of Panama. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with red and weighed in officially at 198.1 pounds. A native of Yerevan, Armenia, he is now fighting out of Miami, Florida, USA, and brings a professional record of 27 wins, 2 defeats, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the current WBC Cruiserweight Champion of the World in recess. Here is Noel, the Dark Horse Mikaelian. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with gold and weighed in at an even 200 pounds. A native of Stockholm, Sweden, he is now fighting out of Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and has a professional record consisting of 28 wins, 3 defeats, 3 draws, 17 of his 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning and defending WBC Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Badu Jack, the Viper!
Okay, guys, I gave the instruction in the dressing room. I want a clean fight, okay? Touch gloves, good luck.
Well, both these guys came to the ring with WBC Cruiserweight titles. To boil it down for the belt heads out there, Badou Jack won the belt in 2023, beating Junior Makabu. He vacated to move up. Noel Mikaelian won the belt again by beating Makabu. He was stripped after failing to defend it. Officially, Badou Jack is the WBC Cruiserweight Champion. But I'll just be glad, Sergio, if this fight ends with one person officially holding that belt.
You don't say. Well, it's going to be tough. Mikaelian has a good right hand. Just like we saw in the last fight with Bruno Sarasi, it could be tricky. He can come around the guard, uppercut, straight. Good fighter, Mikaelian. Jack's going to have to break him down, be very smart, and of course, be very patient and careful.
And you can see Mikaelian is the natural cruiserweight. He is a career-long cruiserweight, whereas Badou Jack is a long-time super middleweight. In fact, only 2 fighters in boxing history have ever gone from super middleweight to win a cruiserweight title. So the naturally bigger man here is Noel Mikaelian.
Yeah, remember that Badu Jack was in conversation, legitimate conversation, Chris, to face Canelo Alvarez at cruiserweight not that long ago.
Which was a fight that would have made some sense. A guy that fought many years at 168. At the same time, guys, Jack has a much better resume. The guys Badu Jack fought at 168 and even 175 with Adonis Stevenson on his resume there. It is significantly better than the fighters that Noel Mikaelian has faced.
Oh, it's night and day, the resumes.
In terms of strength of schedule, during that era of his career, Badu Jack was about as good as they come, but you made a good point, Chris, that Mikaelian is a career-long cruiserweight, and in terms of the cruiserweights that he has fought, we mentioned Radis, Wlodarchuk, some of the best of that generation, and you can see in the body composition here early. Really, the question is about the short notice for Mikaelian. I think that we'd probably be telling a different story coming into this fight if Mikaelian and Jack had 8-week camps.
Well, I think it evens out. You know, a month of training is good enough if you come off, you know, half in good shape. But yeah, if you don't have a full camp, it's not going to benefit you. But you know, like you mentioned, Corey, Jack is 41 years old, so I think it evens out nicely.
Key for Badu Jack is going to be footwork and movements. As a smaller, more nimble man, he's got to take advantage of that. We saw Zerto Ramirez do that. Another guy that went from 168 up to the 200-pound limit. Use that footwork against bigger fighters.
And that footwork doesn't have to be, you know, fast footwork moving all around the ring. It could just be little movements to the left or to the right. You know, kind of like Bernard Hopkins. And I could see how Jack could, you know, take a page out of that. You know, keeps the defense real tight, doesn't take a lot of chances. He punches in twos and fews, and he never stays in front of his opponent long enough to get hit.
Inside the final 30 seconds here of round 1, Mikaelian lands a right hand to the body. What Mikaelian historically does throw, it's technically sound and it's economical. It's 1s and 2s. He'll present a different picture with his hands and with head movement, but he sticks to the basics as he's done here in the opening round.
That's exactly what both these fighters do. So this is going to be a distance type fight.
guys doing the same thing to each other. That round was too close. I don't know who won it. Too close. Too close for comfort. So I need you to keep that guard small and start coming to him a little bit more. Pick that jab and return with your jab. Start shooting shots down the middle. Keep doing the body shot and keep shooting down the middle. Don't let that jab work, man. You don't gotta lean. Push up that right foot. He's copying everything you're doing. That's why you gotta keep shooting that jab like that.
Second out, round 2.
Great instructions in the corner of Badou Jack by Jonathan Banks. He's copying everything you do. That's what we noticed in that round. It's kind of like a mirror of each other. And when you have a fighter like that that's doing that, you just got to do the simple things. And that's popping that jab, doubling it and tripling it. That's how you break the monotony of someone trying to do exactly what you're doing.
Missing with that right hand. You know, both these guys come in knowing what the stakes are in a fight like this. I mean, the cruiserweight division has become a hot division over the last year. Jaya Pataya, obviously the class right now of the division, IBF title holder. Zurdo Ramirez, maybe the biggest name, certainly stateside in the division. 2 belts on his resume. So the winner of this fight is going to get a big opportunity probably later this year.
Yeah, they're kind of trying to break through, Chris, into a division that is kind of operated in 2 different brackets. There's that one that Jaya Pataya and Zurdo have been in, and then there have been Mikaelian and Badu Jack kind of hanging out over here in the division. Now they want to come together and get some of the big fights.
Which, in a weight class where you don't have a ton of money, at least involved in the high-level guys, these are fights that should be very easy to make.
Nice right hand there from Jack, stepping in behind that one.
Badu Jack really knows how to control the center of the ring, and he manages the clock really well. He knows how to fight at the right spots to keep his opponent off and then steal rounds a little bit. Great time management by Badu Jack. He doesn't throw a lot of punches, but when he does throw them, you know, they're easy to see and effective and keep their opponents off balance.
He's a great example, Sergio, of a fighter who has adapted to age and size very well. He doesn't have thudding power necessarily at cruiserweight, although we saw him stop Junior Makabu, but he's adapted well late in his career.
Yes, he has, and that takes a whole lot of, you know, there's a presence, there's an intelligence, a fight IQ that you have to have. It has to be believable. Opponents have to believe you. You know, you can't just stay posturing in front of them, but you could see that Mikaelian respects what Badu's doing, even though he's just real quiet in front of him, jabbing, looking to counter.
And at 41 years old, Badu Jack's got to make sure he gets that engine revving early. He's got a bit of a history of some slow starts. That fight he had 2 fights earlier against Richard Rivera. He really needed to rally in the final half of that fight to pull off a win. Can't afford here to get too far behind on a scorecard.
That's something he's not going to change, Maddox.
Good right hand there from Mikaelian.
That's the reason he has 3 draws. You know, that's the reason his wins are close, his losses are close. That's just the type of fighter he is.
Right, listen. You're paying this guy too much respect. Don't give him no confidence. Confidence is everything. Yeah? Remember, he's very experienced. He's gonna try and trick and con his way. We're not gonna allow that. You need to impose it. You need to raise the level now of your work. You're waiting too long. Yeah? You gotta get up first. Let him do the defending, like what you just did there. Okay? Yeah, back him up. Okay? Wake up. I don't want to be chasing rounds. Okay. I don't want to be chasing rounds. Yeah. Okay. We don't want to get desperate. Let's capitalize. Take the lead. You hear me? Right. Let's go. Wake up.
Words of Don Charles in the corner of Mikaelian. Sergio, we talked earlier about the rah-rah type of coaches. Don Charles is a very good X and O's coach, but he has been a motivator to fighters in recent years. Daniel Dubois being maybe the most notable.
See, that to me wasn't rah-rah. That was just instructions with meaning. You know what? that's what you got to do early in this fight. We can't chase rounds, as what he was saying. Don't give up these early rounds. You got to stay in control.
I think wake up is kind of wrong. A little bit.
Wow, if you would have yelled it, it's rah-rah.
Good right hand again there from Mikaelian. He's landed a couple of good ones over the last minute or so, extending back into the second round. Mikaelian, of course, now with Don Charles, but he's a fighter who has sampled widely in terms of big-name trainers. He's had stints with Pedro Diaz, with Freddie Roach. He's taken little bits from each of those coaches.
Sampled widely. That's a great way to put it.
We didn't break on bad terms with any of them or anything like that.
Good right hand.
Yeah, nice shot there from Jack.
And notice as soon as he landed, he got right out of the way. He got right behind Mikaelian, just not giving Mikaelian any time a chance to come back with a counter. Try not to ebb and flow, a give and take from both these fighters.
Double up on that right hand, make a triple right hand. Mikaelian's grown up in a boxing household. His stepfather is Koren Gavor, who for a period of time was European champion and one of the more popular fighters in Germany. Not that much older than Mikaelian. He actually fought back in 2022. He lands a nice right hand to the body, now tries to bring it up top.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. He needs to touch the body first. He was jabbing to the body really nicely, and that was actually keeping Jack from coming in so easily in the front. So jab or come around the guard, but don't forget the body. That's going to open up the headshots. Mikaelian needs to put the pressure. He needs to back up Jack. Make him feel his age. Make him feel those legs. Wear him out going backwards. Don't let Jack get comfortable coming forward.
That's exactly what Don Charles was telling him. Warning him, hey, he's experienced. Don't let him slow this fight down. Mikaelian has certainly picked up his pace here in the third.
That's what veterans do. You know, the slower the fight goes, the more it goes in their favor.
Big right hand over the top there from Jack.
Yeah, that caught the attention of Mikaelian. He didn't like that right hand. It was a short, nice right hand. He didn't pull it back whatsoever.
All right, let's send it over to Claudia Trejos, who is standing by with AJ.
Absolutely. Thank you, Corey. AJ, great to have you here. And of course, it's a fantastic thing to see Badu Jack 100% at 41, but fighter to fighter. What is it that you see in him?
I see that he's passionate. He wants to feed his family. He's been out the ring for way too long. He's jumped in at the deep end on his return with a really good opponent. I support all fighters, but Badu Jack is my guy, and I'm rooting for him tonight.
Did you all notice how he had to hold the mic up? Mandatory question. We need you back. When are you coming back?
When do you want me back, people? I'm trying to get my body right. I've got to actually have a little surgery on my elbow, a small surgery, sometime in May. Finalize the details, which will see me out of the gym for maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and then as soon as I'm healed, I'll be back really doing what I'm doing. That's bad. I'll be working on my double jab, triple jabs, head movements, footwork. So yeah, we're still going to
Can't wait to see you back. Thank you so much for your time.
Good to see you.
Back to you guys.
Shout out to Claudia Trejos. Get the breaking news. I hadn't heard that, Corey. He's having Anthony Joshua having surgery on his elbow in May. That was the information relayed via Claudia.
Yeah, very different answers there. When do you want me back? But he needs 6 to 8 weeks at least to recover from that surgery in May. So that means you have to wait a little bit for an AJ return. We're back to action here in this fight between Noel Mikaelian and Badu Jack, two men who have waited a long time for their respective returns, both out of the ring since 2023, now trying to settle who the real WBC Cruiserweight champion is. Right hand again over the top there from Mikaelian.
Yeah, that's Mikaelian's punch right there. He does it real responsibly too. Whenever he has his guard up, he blocks real high with his left right before he comes in and throws a straight right hand, so you can't counter him.
Sneaky little body shot there from Mikaelian.
Oh, he
Short
always,
right hook on the inside as well.
He always throws that right hand to the body before he throws that straight right hand upstairs, just to keep that left elbow of Jack in check.
You mentioned the resumes too. Jack's overall resume is better, but at cruiserweight, Mikaelian's is significantly better. You mentioned the 2 losses he had, Corey. I thought the Maris Briedis fight was a robbery. I thought Mikaelian won that, was watching that during the World Boxing Super Series. And Maris Briedis widely regarded as one of the best cruiserweights of that generation. So Mikaelian's got a lot of good names on that resume.
Yeah, we talked about him during his ring walk as a true hard luck case because a win in that fight and a win over Wlodarczak, we're talking about Mikaelian very differently as he lands another good clubbing shot on the inside, now steps in behind another right hand.
And you can see who's the natural cruiserweight because even though Mikaelian threw a right hand and it was blocked, it actually had an impact. It moved Badou Jack. Jack actually threw a right hand. It didn't move Mikaelian. So you can see the natural cruiserweight is definitely with Mikaelian.
And Badu Jack, Sergio, is light on his feet, but he's not showing the same kind of footwork we saw from Zurdo, where Zurdo was doing a lot of step around, step aside, using ankles. Badu Jack is nimble out there, but he's not utilizing that footwork the same way.
Yeah, Zurdo's not 41 years old. He's a decade younger. So that's why he's lighter on his feet.
Saw Jack a moment ago with that 2-punch combination to the body. That was one of his hallmarks at lighter weights. We'll see if maybe as the rounds progress, he can start touching the body of Noel Mikaelian.
That's a good body shot by Mikaelian right there, around the guard.
Sneaky left hook between the guard of Jack there a moment ago as well. This is a good round for Noel Mikaelian.
Good job, Noel. Good job.
Our main event is just around the corner as Canelo is getting wrapped up. His very first fight outside of the US or Mexico. And the look on his face, Chris Bannock suggests that it's all business. Nothing new for Canelo tonight.
No, one of the most relaxed fighters I've ever seen in the hours before the fight. Very relaxed. You saw him moments ago talking to Jaime Munguia before Munguia came out for his ring walk. He has been there, done that, even in a different side of the world. Very comfortable for Canelo Alvarez.
Second round. Round 5.
Round 5 now underway. Noel Mikaelian and a man that Canelo almost fought, Badu Jack. WBC Cruiserweight title on the line. We'll finally settle this title picture as Mikaelian comes out with a bounce in his step. Good body work again there from Mikaelian.
Jack returns it. He needs to return every punch. You know, so if Mikaelian goes to the body, Jack needs to go right back there.
And some of the early difference is that when Mikaelian is throwing the body, when he's throwing in general, it's usually 2, 3, 4 punches. When Badu Jack responds, it's often with just one shot.
Now, Sergio, maybe you could speak to this. There's one thing that makes Mikaelian tricky is how much movement he has just with his hands. It's not just head movement, it's a constant picture that's changing, and I think it makes for an unpredictable rhythm. He's not throwing and bouncing in the same rhythm all the time. Maybe a little bit difficult for Jack to pick up.
Yeah, it's like basically you have to pay attention to 2 things. You have to pay attention to the upper body and the hands and what's going on in the body.
Just like that.
In the legs, downstairs.
Big left hand there from Mikaelian. His best shots tonight.
Normally, a lot of fighters do that with their lead jab. They try to mesmerize you and hypnotize you with that lead jab just to, you know, gut you with that right hand. Mikaelian does it with his lower body and his foot placement. Smart fighter, Mikaelian. Patient. You know, he fights on his own terms.
Smart man as well. He actually started boxing because he dropped out of university to take paid gigs as a sparring partner. He took a little bit of a beating in that first sparring session, but he thought to himself, I don't train at all and I didn't get knocked out. What if I trained like them? I wonder how good I could be. It turned out he'd become a world champion.
Didn't you get knocked out a lot when you were in college, Chris Bannock?
All the time. My final fighting record was 3-13.
bit of a mouse underneath the eye of Mikaelian starting to develop. It's something to keep watch on here as time goes on. Jack falls a little bit short with a right hand, grazing off the shoulder of Mikaelian as we enter the final 30 seconds here of round 5. Nice right hand there from Jack.
Jack's been landing those right hands this round, getting closer and closer. He hasn't really extended the right hand at the right moment to have impact or have any damage, but he's getting closer and closer to it.
Beautiful sequence there from Jack. You land the right hand, you wind up behind your opponent. Excellent moment for Jack.
He's been doing that from the first round. Very agile.
All right, let's send it back over to Claudia Trejos, who has another special guest.
Outstanding boxing figures. Hamzah is with us. Hamzah, you're a very busy man in New York, now Riyadh, and you had a very intense face-off with Edgar Berlanga. What was that all about?
It was to announce the fight, obviously. It was very intense, but he's known to be a trash talker, and I feel like at this stage of my career, that's what I need to bring out the real Hamzah Shiraz.
And with that being said, you better bring this fight to my house, the zone, right?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be absolute fireworks, to say the least. And coming off my last performance, I need a great performance to get back up there again.
We look forward to having you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thank you so much, Claudia.
That's going to be an excellent fight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised Berlanga decided to go with that instead of Caleb Plant or a Jaime Mugia or Diego Pacheco. That's gonna be a good fight.
We've got an interesting fight here between Mikaelian and Badu Jack. You know, Sergio, that last round, I think Jack did something that good old champions tend to do. It was otherwise a very good round for Mikaelian, but Jack had those moments at the end of the round. He stopped the momentum of a fight before it got out of control.
Yep, and that's what he's going to continue to do. That's what Badou Jack does. He stays in the fight. He never takes too much of a lead, or he never falls back behind enough where he can't catch up. He keeps them close where he can still win and pull it off.
Sometimes agonizingly close, as those 3 draws on his record would suggest. Nice right hand again there from Jack, and he has Mikaelian on the run.
You know how difficult it is to triple up on the same right hand, especially when you're the older fighter. This is just a man that can naturally fight. Keep his distance. He knows how to fight on the inside, on the outside. Badu Jack, this is the reason he's still at this age and still at this championship level.
Mention the crowd here very much in favor of Jack, and the chance of Badu starting to rain down here in the arena.
Yeah, Badu Jack fighting his last 2 fights here in Saudi Arabia, made a home in the Middle East, so this is unquestionably a home fight for him.
Badu Jack better watch out. He almost clashed heads on that forehead where he got that cut, that ugly cut.
One of the worst of all time against Marcus Brown. It required a plastic surgeon and over 100 stitches to close that one.
I can't, whenever somebody says to me, this fight should be stopped because of a cut, I'm reminded of how long that fight with Marcus Brown went on when Badu Jack had that cut.
Well, he's got a good cut man in his corner in Mike Basil, and I think there's a reason for that. He knows what a really bad cut can do as he walks Mikaelian into another beautiful right hand.
Very good short right hand. Mikaelian walked right into that.
I think Mikaelian was out on his feet for like 2 seconds and then came back. I don't think Badu Jack noticed that.
Stiff jab there from Jack as well, just getting there first with the lead hand. Close in on the final 30 seconds here of round 6. Jack starting to take control here as Mikaelian has failed to find an answer for that right hand over the last 6 minutes or so. There again, Mikaelian attempts the body work. Jack comes back with better body work. Round 6 is now in the books. A little bit of a warning there for Mikaelian for use of the head.
Relax, Badu. You tired, and that's good.
Nice right hand. Notice how he disguised it. That's an old school veteran move. Badou Jack threw the jab on the opposite side of his opponent's face just to hide that right hand right behind it. And that, nothing hiding there, just a straight right hand right on the left side of the face. And you can see Mikaelian's knees buckle and shake a little bit.
We got Dimitri Bivol in the house, the unified light heavyweight champion. We saw him here in Riyadh, February 22nd. A masterful performance against Artur Beterbiev, and he'll be watching his old foe Canelo Alvarez in the main event.
Badu Jack is killing. I love it. Let's go to work.
Round 7.
Round 7 begins here in this WBC World Cruiserweight title fight. Badou Jack and Noel Mikaelian setting the table for our main event between Canelo Alvarez and William School. Jack goes right back downstairs. Chris Mannix, let's take a look at your scorecard.
I've got it all even up, 57-57. Very close rounds over the first 4. Badu Jack, that was the best round of the fight in that last one, the 6th. Guys, this is where you start to think about the short camp that Noel Mikaelian had for this fight. Really took it on 3.5, 4 weeks of notice. May have been training for another fight, but was not training for this fight in particular. So we'll see what the second half of the fight as Badu Jack starts to build a little bit of momentum.
We talked about some of the frustrations for Mikaelian. At least, by my count, 5 separate cancellations or postponements of a bout against Ryan Rozicki. Sergio, what does that do for a fighter when you have those constant starts and stops? You get a couple weeks in, then the fight gets pulled away over and over again.
It's dispiriting. I think a lot of fighters have gone through it, some more than most, but it really takes it out of you because just when you start hitting your peak, you have to regress and you start over again. And you never really catch momentum. You never really catch that hunger, that edge. It's a terrible feeling. The best weapon that has been serving Mikaelian right and keeping him close in the fight, making it a close fight, is that jab. He meets Badu Jack halfway, stopping the attacks. But when he doesn't jab, that's when Badu gets on the inside and starts digging those uppercuts and the body work.
Mikaelian finding a little bit more movement, a little more bounce here in this round, using more of the ring as well.
It's going to be the body work by both these fighters to change the momentum. See that nice little right hand right there? See, Mikaelian doesn't like those body shots. Anytime Jack lands any kind of body work, it's just a funny reaction coming from Mikaelian.
And watching the corner of Badu Jack during this round, every time he lands a body shot, you can see Jonathan Banks visibly celebrate that punch.
Yeah, former fighter knows exactly what he's watching.
Right hand over the top there from Mikaelian. You see Jack.
Hey, one hand free. I like the fact that Jack is hitting. See, that's another veteran move.
And it's Mikaelian who gets the warning there. It wasn't Jack for sneaking those shots in. He did what he was supposed to do.
Just a true veteran, man. I mean, he gets away with anything you give him. Anything he can get away with, he's going to do it. Look, right there. Free hand, dig the ribs.
Final 10 seconds here of round 7. Mikaelian finds a right hand to the body there, but again, Jack, combination downstairs, and gets out of the way of that left hook right at the bell.
Right, listen to me. When you're in a clinch, you're going to sleep. In a clinch, sit down. Yeah, he's hitting you with free shot when you're in a clinch. Don't give free shots away. I don't care. Find it. You're fit. Okay? You're fit. No regrets tomorrow. Warrior.
Well, the FIFA Club World Cup comes to DAZN as some of the biggest names in football battle it out to become the globe's greatest. And what's more, the entire event, every game, every goal, it's all live right here on DAZN.
7 seconds bonus.
Come on, champ.
Seconds out. Round 8.
As round 8 begins, a very interesting back and forth there between Noel Mikaelian and his trainer Don Charles. Mikaelian, I think, trying to be a little bit under the radar with what he's saying, but I believe he told Don Charles, hey, I'm getting a little bit tired. Don Charles told him, I don't care, you're fit, find it.
I don't think, well, look, maybe it's his conditioning. I say it's Badu Jack's body shots. Jack has been landing some clean body shots on the inside. And I think that's taking the legs away and the conditioning away from Mikaelian.
Yeah, that was good work there from Mikaelian, though. Throwing 6 jabs, scoring punches right to Badu Jack.
And that's been the best weapon for Mikaelian. When he catches Jack coming in with that jab, that stiff, long jab. He has the reach advantage on Jack by 2 inches. Use it. There we go. See, now he's slipping. You gotta move your head. You gotta catch and counter. You can't just be a stationary target. And then come back with that jab.
Reply there from Jack, but Sergio, we've seen it many times. There's nothing that will replenish your batteries a little bit more than just finding a little bit of rhythm and finding a little bit of success.
Rhythm and confidence. And right here, it will serve Mikaelian right to start backing up Jack. Even in the clinches, move him back. Older fighters don't like getting moved back. See, there you go. That's the intercepting jab that Mikaelian's doing so well. Jack doesn't like that. If you can double and triple that up, you can win quiet rounds and get back into this fight.
Mikaelian missing over the top of the right hand, and here again, Jack given the opportunity. Landing those shots to the body, just free shots. They're not hard shots, but they're accumulating. Good shot there again, and Mikaelian felt that one.
Sergio, Mikaelian's corner these last couple of rounds has been telling him during these clinches, pull down on him.
I think that's bad advice because Jack's digging down to the body while he's doing that, and he's getting a referee warning. What he needs to do is get under Jack and then pick him up and walk him back. When you pull your opponent down like that, you got to make sure he's below your waist where he can't really hit you legally. It's an illegal move, but that's what you do whenever a fighter's trying to get low by your waist like that. You push him down, make him use his thighs in that neck string.
Lead right hand there from Jack a moment ago. Mikaelian kind of parking on the ropes. Jack gallops ahead and finds that right hand.
You're right, Sergio. Everything that Don Charles was telling Mikaelian to do, he has been warned for now twice by the referee.
And Mikaelian's having a decent round, you know? I mean, I think, you know, this is a round probably for him. But if you go for the left hook, but it's because of the clinches, he's doing the right thing, slowing down the clock.
Badu, listen to this very carefully. All your punches, they're coming too wide. I don't want to take a chance of him countering. Yes, he's tired. Breathe. Yes, he's tired. But fuck him. You can fight while you're tired. Keep them shots nice and short. That jab, short hook right hand. All power shots. Shoulders up.
That neck string.
Lead right hand there from Jack a moment ago. Mikaelian kind of parking on the ropes. Jack gallops ahead and finds that right hand.
You're right, Sergio. Everything that Don Charles was telling Mikaelian to do, he has been warned for now twice by the referee.
And Mikaelian's having a decent round, you know? I mean, I think, you know, this is a round probably for him. But if you go for the left hook, but it's because of the clinches, he's doing the right thing, slowing down the clock.
Badu, listen to this very carefully. All your punches, they're coming too wide. I don't want to take a chance of him countering. Yes, he's tired. Breathe. Yes, he's tired. But fuck him. You can fight while you're tired. Keep them shots nice and short. That jab, short hook right hand. All power shots. Shoulders up. Badu.
Jack coming up short with that jab, but notice how he didn't fall off balance. Landed that right hand, then got an angle on Mikaelian. That's the angle right there. Mikaelian wasn't able to come back with counters to the body because there was nothing to counter. Sly move there by Jack, but Mikaelian had his moments in that round as well.
Yeah, I thought that was a good round for Noel Mikaelian. He had that jab going early and kept it going throughout most of the round. Jack landed a couple of eye-catching shots, but very good bounce-back round and a needed round, I thought, for Noel Mikaelian.
Round 9 now underway. Corner of Mikaelian trying to rally him. Of course, we've talked about the truncated camp that he's had after a litany of fight postponements. The need to tap into the reserves here against the old vet Badu Jack, trying to remain the rightful WBC Cruiserweight champion, but Mikaelian coming back with a nice right hand to the body.
Jack digging downstairs to the body. That's been a message from Jonathan Banks after every round, digging downstairs.
And he's following the direction. Just rough tactics, man. I love this. You know, this is guerrilla warfare, man. This is with Badu Jack. In the trenches, they were saying that he fights better tired. And I agree with Jonathan Banks. Both these guys are tired. They're fatigued. But whenever you're a veteran with much more experience in the championship level, you know how to slow it down and fight tired. Slow down a fight. That's advantage Badu Jack.
Punch stats there a moment ago, and you know, as we're describing, this is a very close fight. Mikaelian out-throwing and out-landing Jack at the moment.
Yeah, I think a lot of those numbers are probably off that jab. He has thrown a lot, kind of pestering jabs in the direction of Badu Jack.
And there have been times, Chris, where he's thrown 5, 6 in a row. Short left hook on the inside there from Jack. Deep breath from Mikaelian coming out of the clinch. He steps back in with a right hand that wraps around the guard of Jack, who again is just sneaking these shots in on the inside. And he will once again not be the one warned for it.
I love
again.
it. I think the referee's doing a good job.
And now Noel Mikaelian's entering kind of dangerous territory where you have been formally warned by the referee multiple times. That puts you in that area where one more time, 2 more times, you get a point deducted, and that could be catastrophic for a fight like this.
Yeah, but he's getting warned for different things. So it's basically, he needs a second warning on one of them at least.
Nice right hand there from Jack, again stepping in with that shot.
The thing about once they clinch in the corner, since they're both tired.
Nice right hand over the top there from Mikaelian, one of his best shots of the fight.
He needed that. You know, they're sneaky shots. Usually it's Badu Jack with the sneaky shots in the clinch. Now Mikaelian returned the favor.
Yeah, he threw with Badu Jack in that exchange.
There's another one.
That same shot again. Turning the head of Badu Jack sideways with that one, but Jack replies with a nice right hand to the body.
It's going to be a tough fight to score, man. Both of them getting their licks, ebb and flow. Both of them in tough rounds.
That's better.
That's what I'm talking about, man. There we go.
Drink this out. Thank you.
3 rounds.
That's much better. Gladiators find a way. You find a way. That is the way. Nothing less than that will do. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Nothing less than that will do. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah.
Good boy. Right.
Fight, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Oh, I apologize. Okay.
You are champion or no?
Yeah.
What?
Listen, thank you. You heard him. You're champion.
Nice short 45-degree punch by Badu Jack. And there you see Mikaelian hitting the hip of Jack. The referee didn't say nothing. He was on the other side. Those little short shots right there. Veteran tricks. Not pulling them back. Just letting Mikaelian know. Little shots like that are going to keep you buzzed and keep you from coming aggressively inside.
Two well-schooled, intelligent fighters going at it here in Jack and Mikaelian. And it's a fight, Sergio, that's had just kind of a lot of mini momentum shifts. As you described, this is going to be a very difficult fight to score.
It is. It could be 5-4 either way. Both these guys are just solid fighters, inside and on the outside. But those body shots, that's been the difference for me. Shots like that. See, Mikaelian reacts funny every time he gets hit to the body. It's a single right hand, but notice how his body language changes. He takes 2 steps back, and he waits 5-10 seconds until he starts punching.
And sometimes, Chris, I'll kind of volley this over to you. Optics can be the difference in terms of the scoring of a fight. We think back to F.A. Ajagba, Martin McCauley. We thought perhaps that Ajagba had won by a couple of rounds, but there were those moments where the body language of Ajagba probably told a different story to the judges.
Yeah, the aggression of McCauley coming forward, Ajagba constantly being on the move. This fight is absolutely a difficult fight to score. It depends on what you like as a judge. The activity, the jab work of Noel Mikaelian, the body work, kind of that one-punch shot. You get a lot better one-punch shots from Badu Jack.
Good sweeping left hook from Mikaelian a moment ago, and there's a right hand that connected as well. Both corners telling their fighters the other guy is tired right now.
This fight is much more closer than the Ajagba-Mikaelian.
Ajagba-Mikaelian, I had scored 6-4, so
I thought Ajagba won pretty convincingly as well.
Short right hand there from Mikaelian, but again, Jack always doing the right thing and just getting that shot back quickly. That's a nice, quick left hook again.
You nailed it, and he's always punching where the head's gonna be at, man. Just a savvy, sly veteran is Badu Jack. Anytime Mikaelian gets a good shot, just like he did right there, Jack comes right back, doesn't let him have any moments of success. Just a throwback old school fighter is Badu Jack. Look, see how he lowers his neck just to make some room to land some body shots. Making himself smaller and smaller on the inside. Mikaelian back on the back foot.
That subtle stuff there on the inside, almost trying to just get his elbows in between Mikaelian to sneak a couple shots in there. Jack warned for a shot behind the head as the seconds tick away. Another body shot from Jack, but a right hand connected from Mikaelian.
I think that body shot did more damage than the right hand.
Back and forth fight here between Jack and Mikaelian, and there is an exchange that illustrates it.
Sit, relax. Take a deep breath. Relax. Relax, Arthur. Now you get into a firefight. I don't need a firefight right now. I need a smart boxer right now. All mid-range shots, slip, mid-range. Keep your hands up. Don't look for one punch. Look for double jab right hand. Double impact. That's all I need. I don't need a one-punch knockout. I need double impact. All right? Relax. Stretch your legs out. 5 seconds. Relax. Relax. Relax, brother. It's 11 rounds. You can fight for, you can give me 4 more rounds if I need you.
10 seconds, pause.
Let's go. Relax. Keep your fucking hands up.
Round 11.
2 to go in this one, the championship rounds. Badu Jack and Noel Mikaelian as Jack comes out firing that right hand to the body.
Good left hand there from Badu Jack.
All right, Chris, let's take a look at your scorecard.
Razor close, 96-94 in favor of Noel Mikaelian. I thought he's rallied over these last 3 rounds, all of which have been ultra close, but I like the activity, the straight right hands over some of the body work that I've seen from Badu Jack. So this fight very much still in the up in the air as we go into the championship rounds.
Yeah, as Badu Jack fights tend to be, but a valiant effort here from Noel Mikaelian considering his circumstances. If he can pull this off, as we mentioned, nice chopping right hand there from Mikaelian.
And you could tell that Jonathan Banks didn't like what he saw from Badu Jack last round. He doesn't want to see a fire, but he doesn't want to see him exchange with Noel Mikaelian. He wants to see him balance it, go to the body, use angles.
Good shot by Mikaelian right there, catching, intercepting Jack coming in.
Deep breath from Mikaelian again as he looks to erase a lot of injustices that he feels he's experienced throughout his career. It would all be worth it if he could pick up a win here, become a true champion inside the WBC on a Canelo undercard. I think he would take that as the end result, even given everything he's gone through.
Mikaelian keeps getting hit by that free hand of Jack, and Jack keeps taking it. Anytime I'm in the clinch, Jack's just going to keep punching once to the body or once upstairs.
Short right hand there.
There's the body
Mikaelian
shot.
in there again.
Anytime. It's been the same story round by round. Mikaelian gets way too comfortable on the inside, and that's why the savvy veteran's taking advantage of it.
I think that's another thing, Chris, that may make this fight tricky to score is that there's a lot of that work from Jack. Stuff that is in these kind of awkward scenarios that to an observer might look like it's borderline a foul. It's not. It's a clear blow, but it doesn't look like he's doing clean work all the time.
Yeah, he's getting the best of these clinches, but
dirty
his
work.
close body work that we just saw right there. When they get a little bit of separation, the advantage is Noel Mikaelian.
30 seconds remain here in round 11.
Good shot right there by Jack.
Mikaelian falling way short on that one, and Jack countering well.
He loaded up for that one. I don't know what that was.
It's a man trying to find whatever's left to leave Riyadh as a world champion. As the seconds tick away here in this round, in a fight that very well could come down to the final round.
Just one more round, baby.
One more.
I don't care how tired you are.
This is the last round. You win
This last round, you gotta win this round convincingly. Do you hear me?
And then you have it.
Are you hearing me?
And then you have it.
Are you hearing us?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Hands up.
Show me something. Show me something.
And this is what I'm talking about right here. Veteran tactic move. Mikaelian getting too comfortable on the inside. Got him checked with that right hand. But as soon as he gets checked, he comes right back. And that's why it's an ebb and flow in a 6-5 type fight either way.
It's compact. Everything you do, Badu, he's catching up to you. I don't need that. I need compact shots. Double and bad. So you stay ahead of this thing. Last round. Short contact.
I think both these trainers, Don Charles and Jonathan Banks, understand and have relayed to their fighters that this 12th round could be the difference in the fight.
They have described to their fighters that this is a must-win round. 3 minutes remaining in this one.
I love the analogy that Jonathan Banks used to tell Badu Jack right on the last round. He says, compact shots, double end bag. If anyone knows, double end bag is the hardest punch back to punch because you can't load up on it. You have to barely tap it, and with short shots, that's what Banks wants to do Mikaelian on the inside. Short shots, don't overload.
And that's what Mikaelian's been pretty effective.
I was about to say,
this
right.
fight, like him doing that double end bag kind of combinations, 5-6 punch combinations, like Badu Jack's head is done.
Nice left hook there from Mikaelian. Catching Jack with his hands down there momentarily. Good shot from the champion in recess, Noel Mikaelian.
If Mikaelian can muster up this lateral movement and then jab anytime Badu comes in, I think he's going to be all right on the scorecards because right now it's very tight. And Badu wants to close that distance as fast as possible.
It's right hand to the body again from Mikaelian. In a fight this close, every single shot feels like it's turning the tide and maybe shifting the result of this fight. We'll see what the scorecards look like should we get there. But if Chris's scorecard is any indication, this is one that is razor thin.
And if the history of Badu Jack is anything, another draw might be in the cards. See, that's the laziness of Mikaelian, and that's why Jack always takes full advantage of it. Right there, punch. See that? The referee's not between you. It's not a dirty tactic, it's a rough tactic. He's taking advantage of what he's given.
And if Mikaelian wants to tie him up, he actually has to tie him up. You can't just, kind of go into a shell and hope the referee bails you out. He's got to grab onto Badu Jack like he does right there.
Yeah, and even there, that's not a particularly assertive clinch there from Mikaelian. It's allowing Jack to work as he has been on the inside in those messy situations. 30 seconds remaining in this fight. Good combination there from Mikaelian. 4-punch combination, finishing with that left hand.
Talked about kind of stealing rounds there. That's the kind of combination that can be a difference maker in the eyes of the judges in these really competitive rounds.
Yeah, it was because Badu Jack was grinding the majority of that round, but those 4 shots were a lot cleaner.
Flurry to the body there from Mikaelian. The round stealing special.
Good shot right there.
Wow.
Badu Jack.
What a finish to the fight. Badu Jack with one final shot right at the bell. Well, the winner of this one, whoever it may be, is going to be watching this fight quite intently. Jayo Pataya returns on June 8th following a spectacular knockout win over David Naika in January. He'll face the undefeated Italian Claudio Sequeio with the IBF World Cruiserweight title on the line. All right, let's take a look at the CompuBox fight stats here. Look at these numbers for Noel Mikaelian, nearly doubling the punch output of Badu Jack. You look at the punches landed. That's why this one, watching in real time, looked like it was a difficult one to score.
Yeah, it was. A lot of kind of pitter-patter stuff from Noel Mikaelian, range-finding jabs, soft touches, but those add up, and a lot of those shots were getting through. Those are scoring punches. Then you see the punches landed. Lands roughly 30 more punches than Badu Jack. So, very good fight, very competitive fight. Let's see what these 3 judges have to say.
Both men walk to the ring with the WBC green belt, only one will leave with one here tonight. You see the respect between Jack and Mikaelian. A thinking man's fight, Sergio.
A veteran in one side and a guy that normally, takes control of a fight, but has also been in close fights. So neither of these guys have been able to take control and keep control of any of these fights, even the ones they've won. So here's what happens. Another close, competitive fight that's going to be difficult to judge.
All right, the scorecards are in the hands of Thomas Treiber, so let's make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Nobuto Ikahara scores it 114 to 114, even a draw. And both judges Pablo Gonzalez and Jose Mansour are in agreement. They both scored the same, 115 to 113, both in favor of your winner by majority decision, and the WBC Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Badu Jack the Ripper!
Razor thin, but Badu Jack will leave as the true WBC Cruiserweight Champion. One judge scoring in a draw, the other two 115, 113.
Well, we have our answer for what the judges preferred. Slightly preferring the clean shots, the body work of Badu Jack as opposed to the activity of Noel Mikaelian. But we thought it was a close fight, and it turned out to be a really close fight.